With over 1 billion different guns in Borderlands 3, you want to keep an eye out for all the variations, especially for the prefixes and the suffixes and the titles of the guns. Now in this video, I want to highlight a few of my unique legendaries that I've found, and I want to get to the bottom of what the distinctions are for each of these guns. Now, first I want to highlight the Lyuda, which is one of the best and most sought out weapons in the game. There are multiple different versions. I found 3. I'm guessing there might be 1 or 2 more. But let's start off with the negating vicious Lyuda. This weapon differs from the others in the fact that it has cryo elemental damage, which of course freezes enemies upon critical hits. It's very effective. But if we go to compare it with some of the other Lyudas, we have the molten cryo Lyuda, and you can see that not only does it have different elements, but they have different statistics as well. And finally, we have in my collection the storming cryo Lyuda, which gives us shock elemental damage. So all of these guns have statistical differences as well as elemental differences. But let's take a look at some of the other guns. So with Lucian's Call, it seems that they don't have any suffixes or prefixes, but there are, once again, different statistics, different elemental damages, and different effects that they have. I have 3 of them. I have the cryo, I have the incendiary, and we also have the corrosive Lucian's Call. I haven't found the shock Lucian's Call yet. I'm assuming that it's in the game. But you can see that there are different weapons of each kind, different variations of each weapon, so you need to keep an eye out. Just because you found one rare gun doesn't mean that you found all of the same type. So if we actually look at what the names mean, some of them, I'm convinced, are just Easter eggs. Some of them, we can look at the phasar. We have the nuclear phasar, which is aptly named because it gives you irradiation damage. And then we have the storming phasar. Sound familiar? We get the shock elemental damage, and it's very similar in name to the storming cryo Lyuda. So it seems that some of the names are telling you about the elemental effect, or they're giving you some kind of clue about what these special abilities are. Alright, and here we have 3 new weapons on display. I've already showed you 2 of them. We have the engulfing prefix, the nuclear prefix, and the storming prefix. And as you can see, each one corresponds with a different element type. We have the engulfing phasar, which actually in this case scenario does shock damage. Now if we go to the engulfing cryo ogre, we get incendiary damage. So it seems as though the names aren't really what you're looking for, but you do need to keep out a good look for any different types of elemental damage. We see the pertinent devoted. We get 2 different types that we can switch to, and we have the stark devoted. We also get 2 different types that we can switch to, and we're getting different stats. One is, well, actually both are anointed, and they have different effects. They have completely different effects. One is for Zane, and one is just vanilla. So finally, in this example, there are many more examples I can give, but we have 2 different versions of basically the same weapon that have different stats and an extra word in the name. Well, we get the express fire cell long musket ++, and then we get the fire cell long musket XXL. It seems that the XXL has a larger magazine size. It has slightly less damage, slightly less accuracy, and the other stats are pretty much the same, slightly less fire rate. But they're basically the same weapon. So whenever you see a weapon that you might already have, make sure that it isn't already a better version of the weapon. And just be on the lookout for when you see a weapon that has a certain prefix, it might give you an idea. There are other weapons of the same type that have a different element or some different unique abilities. We'll leave you with some gameplay, and I just want to point out that there are different guns of the same type. So just because you find one Lyuda doesn't mean you found all of them. I'm glad that I farmed enough to actually get the storming Lyuda, because as you can see, it does way more damage. I was able to one-shot Graveward with this gun, so I hope you enjoy the video.